have my almonds, and notice they have been soaked. I could easily they're flexible, very pliable. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm a little nervous. Okay. Now I have my walnut meat already browned. Okay. Now in this case today, I don't have sun-dried tomatoes only because I actually sun-dried my tomatoes and it hasn't been warm enough. I cut up tomatoes and I put them on the back patio. That's something good too. If you go to a vegan restaurant, we charge about $9 for just one tomato. That's something you could do yourself. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I grew up with a Hispanic who loved to make tacos. And she told me, Tamika, whatever you do, make sure you put the cumin in the taco. That's the difference between a real taco and a Taco Bell taco. Okay. So I want to make sure that's the first thing I put in there. And I got all of these ingredients are ingredients I have at the school. So this is Trader Joe's. I try not to use whole bread only because of allergies and so forth, the protection of the students at school. Okay. I also have some oregano. I got this oregano from Whole Foods, but if you're growing it at school, you could go ahead and use it. This is another organic oregano as well. I'm going to put a little garlic powder in there. It's a little bit. Okay. In this case, I'm going to put a little rosemary just to give it a little Okay. A little Himalayan salt. And if I wanted to, I could add turmeric. You can add any herb that you normally would put into your taco. As a matter of fact, some places, I'm not going to say any names, but some of your favorite vegan restaurants, if you were to buy a raw taco plate, they use actual taco packages from like Jewel or Whole Foods, and they just put it in there because all of the herbs are in it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. And it's not as, it's a little dry to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little olive oil. I have olive oil on here. I know some people are picky. They don't like to consume olive oil. A lot of people now are consuming grapeseed oil for more of the nutritional value. But I'm a little greedy. So I'm going to go ahead. I need that oil. I'm going to use the olive oil. I'm just going to put like a capful in there. You don't want too much because you don't want it to be slimy. Maybe a capful and a half. I'm going to go ahead. And you can have a student do this. Again, I haven't cut anything. I haven't used anything in sharp. And they're just going to go ahead. Okay. So while that's turning, now I'm going to work on my shell. So remember, we're working on a raw meal. So that means that I'm not going to use any processed food. So what do you guys think I can use from the garden as my shell? I think Ms. Johnson, Maria Johnson.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. What else? I think lettuce is a little, do you think lettuce is strong enough?
How about kale or collard greens?
Let's try a collard green. Very good. So we're going to try a collard green for our shell. So this is something that I learned at the restaurant. Okay. So for the collard green, I'm going to keep the stem because again, I want everyone to get their bang for their buck. I wouldn't pay $9 just for a leaf. I'm going to keep the stem because I need the nutrients. But I need to make this leaf pliable. I need to make it flex because I want to make a taco. But I could also make a wrap as well. I can be creative, just as if I were making tacos. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna massage this this leaf. I'm gonna take my oil again. I just use my hand sanitizer. And I'm going to go ahead and massage it just a little bit with the oil. Okay. And massaging this with the oil makes it move, makes it pliable, makes it flex. And I could also use this if I want to make a turkey sandwich without bread or a ham sandwich. Give our digestive systems a break every once in a while, right? From all that gluten. Okay. So I have my shell, which is right here. Okay. I have my meat, which is right here. I'm going to turn it this way. And now I'm going to start working on my cheese. Now, this is the big bang for your buck. At our restaurant, just for us, we don't even give samples of cheese away, but just for cheese, raw cheese added to your meal, we charge at least like $4 for that. And you'll see it only takes 2 minutes to make, okay? One thing that I did forget to bring with me from the kitchen is nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast gives the cashew cheese the actual cheese flavor. That's like the #1 ingredient, but I was trying to move things because my dogs are acting up in the back. But I'll go ahead and show you based on what I have. So for this exercise, can you all see my blender? Okay. For this exercise, I'm not going to use my Vitamix. Again, I'm going to just attempt to invest in a traditional blender. This blender was probably like $60. It's a Ninja. The one good thing about it in our school gardens is that you can create anything. You could create dressings with it. You could create ice cream. You can get frozen drinks, smoothies, and so forth. So it's a good investment versus a $600 Vitamix that some students might bring. But you can still be creative. So I like this. So I have my cashews. My cashews have been soaked. I'm going to go ahead and put my cashews in there, okay? So the next thing that I'm going to add to this is I have to have a little bit of garlic, okay, to give it a little taste. I'm going to add just a little bit of Himalayan salt. I'm going to add just a little bit of oregano, okay? And then for this particular cashew cheese, I'm going to add our secret ingredient. This is another $1 million trick that I'm giving you. Don't tell anybody I told you. And that's our Dijon mustard. Okay, the Dijon mustard is what gives it the tang. The nutritional yeast is what gives it the cheesy flavor and smell. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to pour a little bit of that up in here. The more mustard that you have, the more tang that you'll have. And then I'm going to go ahead and use, in my case, I like to use almond milk. But a student I had last year was allergic to almonds, so I used hemp milk instead. But you can use any type, or you can use water. It's up to you.
Tamika, we lost your audio.
I'm going to go ahead and cut this on. I wish I had my nutritional yeast for you all. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. So the good thing about the Ninja too is that it pulses so that if I can stop and add any more liquid, if I want it to be more of a liquid type cheese, or I could just leave it as so and make it like a solid. And I transfer this into this bottle, so it'll be a lot to carry. You can see my cheese. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my taco. I have my meat and I have my cheese. And I did not use any meat. I did not use any stoves. I did not use any knives. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take my cheese and I'm going to lay my first foundation. Can you all see it? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. It's real pretty, and I bet it's good. Oh my God. Okay. I cut up some zucchini. You can alternate. Some people, typically, if I make a wrap, I like to use cucumber, but I had some zucchini actually from the school garden, and then also I had this tomato from the school garden. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there as well. I had some kale and some chard from the school garden. So someone mentioned some lettuce. I'm going to go ahead because I love lettuce inside of my tacos. So I'm going to use chard as my lettuce. I'm going to use kale as my lettuce. And I also had some green onion from the school garden as well that we harvested. And I'm going to go ahead and put a few pieces of that in there as well. Notice I'm not using a knife on purpose to show that this is a kid-friendly, school-friendly recipe. And now I have my meat. It smells really, oh my goodness, it smells good. That's probably when the dog is barking. It smells really good. I'm gonna go ahead and take my meat and put it on there. I'm gonna tell you all something that's really funny. Not even funny, that's really good. Switch out your walnuts for sunflower seeds. Sunflower seed pate is like the best thing I've ever had in life. And a lot of people use sunflowers to make like fish type meals. Okay, so you will use the same recipe, but you could switch it out. And then if you're feeling really sassy, you want to switch out your walnuts for pecans. And that tastes really good as well. And some people use that for like a turkey alternative. Okay, so now I have my taco. I have my taco sauce. Again, if you want, you could take the tomatoes, you could use your blender, put in some herbs, and you'll have your own tomato sauce. However, I have my favorite from Trader Joe's that I'm using today. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there. Ooh, maybe I should be a chef instead of a teacher. I'm gonna go ahead and put my tomatoes on top. I have some tomatoes. We're gonna see how this baby looks. I'm gonna put a little more cheese on top too. That looks good. It smells really good. More cheese. And this is really nice. This is my meal. And this was all under what, 20 minutes? Saved myself a few dollars, a few pounds, and some, this is what you call superfood. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
That was so fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For your own Food Network channel. I think it's time for your new career.
Leave the school.
So we are going to open up the floor just for a few minutes of questions. We had some that came into the chat, so feel free to continue to type in your questions in the chat, and I'm going to pull out some of those questions. This is a question for you, Tamika. When you cook with students face-to-face, how do you serve tasting portions?
I normally use toothpicks, and I do use a knife myself. So I'll cut this in half. I wouldn't give students a whole collard. So it's normally 2 students to 1 leaf, and I'll put a toothpick to make it look like a cute little hors d'oeuvre for them, and they just sit around. But they love it. Like for some of them that just popped in, they didn't even know what they thought it was regular tacos until someone told them. They were like, "Oh, okay." You know.
Awesome. And the next one is, have you done cooking in a virtual setting like this before?
No, I haven't. I haven't. No. Probably because a lot of times it's hard for students to have the materials at home. But I'm sure now, they can record it and go back.
Everyone is saying this looks amazing, looks really good.
Thank you.
The recipe is really nutritious. Thank you.